Breaking. Welcome to today's headlines. Ohanaeze disowns Simon Ekpa. To my dear listeners, this would be one of the interesting news you have been longing to listen to. Before I go into details, my dear listeners, good evening from wherever you're listening from. Kindly make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Now the details. Say Simon Ekpa is a content creator. Ohanaeze Igbo has dissociated themselves from the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is currently in detention in Finland over allegation of terrorism, and restated their demands for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. The vice president of Ohanaeze, Damian Okeke-Ogene, disclosed that while addressing newsmen in Awka, where he called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He further disclosed that the Apex socio-cultural group had also zoned the next president of the group to Imo State for a period of 2 months to complete the tenure of the state that was truncated by the death of Prof. Obiozo and Emmanuel Iwolanyowu, who hailed from Imo State. We are not concerned about the arrest of Simon Ekpa in Finland. Somebody who destroyed the economy of the Southeast. So we don't know him because he has not been consistent. Nnamdi Kanu is consistent, but Ekpa said he is a content creator. So, how do we take somebody who is doing content creation in faraway Finland seriously? He should join Nollywood. As for Nnamdi Kanu, he had interacted with us, and that is why we want him released. So he will tell us who are his boys. I equally want to use this opportunity to urge the federal government to take more proactive measures towards the release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The present lip service on the issue is seriously impeding security of lives and property in the entire southeast region. Effective security and stability are necessary for socio-economic growth and development. Ogene called on the Southeast governors to synergize and collaborate more in putting effective security apparatus that will enhance efficiency and sustainability in crime fighting. On the issue of replacing late Emmanuel Iwolanyowu as the president of Ohanaeze Igbo, Ogene appealed to Igbo to allow Imo State complete their tenure by nominating the next president of the organization. We assure you that Ohanaeze Igbo is not relenting in protecting the collective interest of Igbo. I can assure you that Ohanaeze Igbo, as an institution of repute, remains intact as one indivisible entity with no leadership crisis. The leadership structure and processes of being elected into any position in all arms and organs of the Ohanaeze Igbo are clearly specified in Ohanaeze Igbo Constitution. All leadership positions in every wing and organ of the Ohanaeze Igbo are zoned to states, not individuals. Presently, the position of the president is zoned to Imo State because the late Chief Iwolanyowu did not complete his tenure. We are waiting for the Imo State chapter of the Ohanaeze in Igbo to elect or appoint a replacement for the Ime Obi, which is the highest decision-making body of the socio-cultural group, to consider and possibly approve it. To my dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news. And now before I go, not to not to beat around the bush. We know we we all know that releasing Nnamdi Kanu from detention would actually bring peace to Southeast. So sincerely, I personally do not know the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is still held by the federal government, even though his release has been called for so many times. But to be honest, I think releasing Nnamdi Kanu would actually be the greatest decision we've all been waiting for, because that is when they would know who is who. But as it is now, they have people that are standing against them that do actually do not want their movement to succeed. So I think releasing Nnamdi Kanu would actually be the greatest decision the federal government would make, and it will actually help the federal government securities too, so as to apprehend those that needs to be apprehended. Because as it is, it's obviously that we have people that are stopping them, that are hindering them to do what they need. Now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by the comment section and let us know what your view is all about. Thank you for listening.